Hello, folks. Welcome to Old Ass Movie Reviews. I'm Dave. The other guy down there, that's Scott. We are here to interview
Boris Karloff. Hold on. Let me go get the Ouija board.
Okay.
Anyway,
we're gonna interview Boris Karloff. Review 1938's Mr. Wong Detective, starring the aforementioned Boris Karloff, Grant Withers as Captain Street, Maxine Jennings as Myra, Evelyn Brent as Olga. Do what?
I love Myra.
Oh yeah, Myra's awesome. George Lloyd as Devon, Lucien Prival as Mole, John St. Paulus as Romer, William Gould as Maisel.
Mizell. I think they were saying Mizell.
Hooper Atchley as Wilk, John Hamilton as Dayton. Now, John Hamilton was the guy who played in the original Superman series on TV.
Really?
The editor of the Daily Planet. Just a little side note. Wilbur Mack was Russell, and this guy was kind of funny. He only showed up a couple of times. Lee Tong Fu was Chin. That was Mr.
The only
Wong's
Asian guy in the film.
Manservant. Yeah. Just funny as hell.
Yes.
Linton Brent was Tommy. And then I'm not going to go through the rest of the names, but Boris Karloff was starring as Mr. Wong. The director was William Nye. Bill Nye?
The film guy. This is before he did sign. This is his ancestors.
Writers Houston Branch and Hugh Wiley. I think this is the first time I watched this all the way through. I believe this is the first Mr. Wong detective movie.
I think you are correct.
Used to be a short story in
it was in a magazine or something. Yeah.
And people wanted to see it and of course, with the success of Charlie Chan movies, they had to get Mr. Wong. They had to get
there's a whole genre here.
Yeah, there's like the three big detectives, a mini genre for these guys. And I know what I thought of it. What did you think? I want to hear what you got to say.
I liked it. I really liked the mystery on this one. It kept me guessing. I love all the misdirection because we're introduced to the killer right off the bat, but yet you start doubting it, and then you fall into it again, and then you doubt yourself again, and then it's well done. It's very smart, the clues. But I want to talk about Boris Karloff playing a Chinese man
Chinese. Chinese.
It's very different than Peter Lorre or
any of the Charlie
Chan actors,
Warren Oland or any of them.
Any of those. It's very different because this time the stereotypes aren't played as hard.
No.
It's very, very subtle. Even the looks are subtle, and I appreciated that. And then you ask, well, why even bother? But we already know. Go see our other reviews of of the other Asian detective movies. He's a different type. He's not physical. He's closer to Charlie Chan than Mr. Moto. So there's no martial arts or anything.
Right.
The style's very cool. This is somebody who just lets everybody hang themselves right around him. And he doesn't have to do any of the hunting. I like Mr. Wong. He's a smart fella.
And I'm glad you said that about the non-physical or what have you. Charlie Chan will use a gun. He will shoot a mother effer. Mr. Moto, we saw grab a guy and throw him off a ship in the middle of the ocean and didn't tell anybody that he did it.
No, that just straight up killed the dude.
That dude was shark bait. Doesn't matter to Mr. Moto whether you live or die if you cross him.
Cold-hearted.
And I think Mr. Wong has that kind of coldness, but he's also not going to physically do it if he doesn't have to. Whereas Mr. Moto He might not have to punch you or throw you off a boat.
But he's almost like he enjoyed throwing that dude off the boat.
He enjoyed that. But and it's very funny that you had brought that up. And I always thought that Boris Karloff's version is kind of cold, but he's very friendly to the people that he is friends with. He's very friendly to Myrna and to
he's
captain.
He's also very famous.
Yeah.
Without telling you really much of anything, dignitaries, people know him. Everybody knows Mr. Wong. So he's the modern day Sherlock Holmes. He's this is, I say this every time. I love this genre. I love a good whodunit. And this is a good whodunit.
And this is a nice niche genre, because I don't know. I was kind of looking around the other day for more Oriental detectives of this time period. I haven't run across any more. There's Mr. Moto, Charlie Chan, and Mr. Wong. That's all that I could find.
Yeah.
All the other Asians or Orientals that were in the old serials at the time were all the villains, which is why DeBerg brought up Charlie Chan. He invented a character because he was trying to fight against those stereotypes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was very interesting.
It is interesting when you go read why this is a genre.
Yeah.
And it does, again, you just can't look at this through your eyes today.
No, not
read
at all.
The history, check it out. It's it has its place. It does. It's still, I'd be lying if it says it doesn't cause me a little like
Really?
But yeah, it does. It does. I'm really bothered by it, dude. But
okay,
it's a good movie. Yeah.
The thing that I found the most interesting and the biggest difference between these three actors, or any of the actors that played Charlie Chan, the character, and Mr. Moto, was that Boris Karloff doesn't try to speak with an Asian accent.
He doesn't. And this
speaks
to me,
Boris Karloff.
And I know I waited to hear Imhotep, but
yeah.
So it's like I was waiting for it. I love Boris Karloff. He's a very subtle actor. And it really shines here. He's given a really neat role and he plays it well. No corny accent, no buck teeth.
Right.
So I thought this was pretty respectful.
And God,
it's just weird. It's just weird for me, man. And I look and it's like, that's a Chinese guy, but that's a white guy playing it. Yes, I know, and I'm not here to diss it for it. I'm just saying it's my own personal thing. It's like, all right, I can't, but I really like the movie.
Thank God for Peter Lorre getting rid of the teeth.
Yes, that made a big difference.
Because I'm sure he saw himself on the big screen and was like, I knew that was wrong to do that. Like you could almost hear Peter Lorre going, I don't think that was a good idea. I'm getting rid of the teeth, okay?
Here's the thing, and I want to talk about this, and forgive me, folks, for jumping off on a weird tangent that's not necessarily related to that. But this I understand. I understand the stereotype humor. I understand the buck teeth, the slanted eyes, the comments, the corny accents. Mm-hmm. I get it because I grew up in a time when that was how we joked about everything about people. It was the humor of the time. And I see that. And we used to think it was so damn funny. And I look back at that and it's like, damn, I'm glad we've moved away from that. But this was the humor of the time. I know you probably still relish it because Dave's an eternal teenager. And that's okay. And I do too, dude. I would be lying if I said I didn't laugh, but I cringe at the same time sometimes. Like, oh, that was But
see, these weren't meant to be funny.
No, they weren't.
My biggest thing is, real quick on what you were saying. Did you finish? I'm sorry, I didn't.
Well, no, just one other thing. No, I was going to say that was because that was the humor of the time. It was not. We would think nothing of it. So Peter Lorre would not have thought anything of it. Hey, put these teeth in. Do this. We're going to make, and you're going to talk like this. I guarantee. Well, I don't know. I don't know him personally, but I would think that it wasn't. Oh, we're going to make fun of this, and
right.
I don't think any of it was ever intentional.
Yeah, I don't think he as an actor was doing it to make fun of anything.
No, I don't feel that at all.
And I have the feeling after he saw the first movie, he was like, that's just not working. That's bad. Yeah. Like I just think from what I've read about him and what I've read about Boris Karloff and some of the other actors that played
oh yeah,
Charlie
like
Chan.
I forget the names of the actors on Charlie Chan, but yes,
yeah, there's like I think 4 of them altogether. So Warner Oland is always the one who comes to mind.
That's the one I think of.
Yeah, but like we were talking, I just think, and I think it's really weird, especially for the Charlie Chan movies. Every other Asian in Charlie Chan was played by an Asian.
Oh,
they were either Chinese or Japanese. I'm guessing probably Korean too. They probably just threw all the Asians in there and were like, well, they all look the same because
that was their mentality.
Threw a bunch of white guys back in 1920 and 30 and 40.
I guarantee it.
They all, it's like a bunch of white guys in China all look the same.
I'm sure.
I mean, so I'm sure if they were making movies back in China, they were like, we need a white villain. Well, how about Bob? Well, he played the white villain in the last one. He can play it in this one too. Come on. you know, I just think there's like you said, it's a stereotype. It's
a stereotype.
And I never understood why they didn't just get a Chinese actor to play.
Well, but I know, and that's the politics of the time, unfortunately. And
they also wanted to make sure they put butts in the seats. Peter Lorre was going to put butts in the seats. He wasn't a huge actor what people at the time, forget. But he was coming up. Boris Karloff had already done Frankenstein, I think, by this time. He was putting butts in the seats.
Yeah,
I think Warner Oland and some of those other guys may not have been huge names, but the character was a well-known name, and they were not going to screw it up by putting an Asian guy in there that they were afraid wouldn't be able to speak
I should say an unproven,
whatever.
An unproven actor is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
So because we know an Asian actor can draw, that's not an issue. And you bring up a wonderful point, and I want to touch on that. Is we talk so much about whitewashing or Scarlett Johansson is set to play such and such again, and it's only gay people can play gay people, or only trans people can play trans people. Just Joe Bob may or may not be an excellent actor, but nobody knows Joe Bob. He's the perfect person for the part. He's so perfect. He's great. I love him in this role. Nobody's going to go see him. So we're going to cast somebody who's straight or cis or whatever. And then now people are up in an uproar. And it's like, my God, they're spending hundreds of millions. I get it. I get it when you look at it on the money. So this is kind of the same thing that was going on back then, I would think.
And it's kind of what we had talked about for Charlie Chan. If I was the guy that was playing Charlie Chan, if I had put my money on the line, as I think almost all the actors in Charlie Chan did, I'd be playing Charlie Chan. Especially back then. I'd be like, I don't care. Put the makeup on me. I'm playing this part. I paid the money. I bought the scripts. I'm doing it. I totally get that.
Yeah.
Key Luke at one point, and you and I talked a little bit about this.
Yeah, we have.
Key Luke not only never cared about it. He was like, these actors were always good to me. All the other actors were Chinese or Asian. It's just what happened. I'm not going to be butthurt over it, basically. But there is an interesting thing. There was the Phantom of Chinatown, which is funny because there's another Phantom of Chinatown, but there's a Key Luke one that Key Luke stars in. And it was supposed to be I don't know if it was Warner Oland or it was supposed to be a Charlie Chan, but the guy had died or they were having contract difficulties or something. So they were like, what are we going to do? Hey, Key Luke, do you want to? And Key Luke took that role.
Oh, wow.
Key Luke was the star.
Oh, wow.
And it's the first time that I'm aware of that an Oriental guy.
I want to look for that.
Asian guy. It is on YouTube, and I've watched it. Cool. It's pretty damn good. It is right up there as far as I'm concerned with the Charlie Chans.
Very good.
Why they didn't let him do like more movies, I don't know. I don't know anything about the box office, like how it did at the box office. Any reviews? I don't know. Maybe there were a bunch of white reviewers at the time who were like, oh, we can't have an Asian guy on the screen. Oh my God, what do people think? Whatever. Or maybe none of that happened, and the guys that ran the studios like today are like, well, you look too much like an Asian guy. You look too much like a white guy. You look too much like a
Oh,
whatever. I don't
wait,
know.
we're releasing our film in China. We have to take the black actor off the
Yeah,
poster.
that kind of thinking has destroyed Hollywood. That's why it's
Yes.
a freaking cesspool now. But I just remember seeing that movie and going, he's really good in this. And
Very
then the next
cool.
time I remember seeing him is as the blind man in Kung Fu, snatch the pebbles from my hand guy. And it's like, how did you go from the detective, the son of Charlie Chan, to what happened? You were such
That'd be
a
an
great
interesting
actor.
story. I bet he would have an interesting story.
I would love to find a book if there's a book on him, just because he was doing crap in Hollywood when nobody else was doing it.
I would love to see more about him. Absolutely.
We'll come back to this movie in a second, but the thing that because I love Charlie Chan, so I'm going to talk just a little bit more. The thing
of
I've
course.
said and I love about Charlie Chan movies is his kids.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie Chan is from the Orient. He is from China. He is from mainland China, living in Hawaii now. His kids were born and raised in America, and they all speak the American slang of the day. The daughter, which cracks me up, is the daughter. I think it's the second or third oldest in the family. Is a better detective than the two oldest sons. She makes a better detective. She knows when to keep her mouth shut and her ears open. And the father is always so proud of her. You can see it the way he treats her.
Mm.
And the sons are always trying to be detectives. The girl is a detective. She's already got it in her head. I know what to do. I know what dad wants to see. I know what dad wants to hear if I see something. So I thought that was good. I think that's, for me, that's the one thing that the Wong mysteries are lacking. He's got the detective. He's got Grant Withers, who I think is in every one of the Wong movies. Maxine Jennings, who plays Myra, is in all of the Wong movies.
But she's great. Have... I love these characters.
Yeah, but he doesn't have so like a
sassy.
Kid or a sidekick. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's maybe they did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But what were you going to say?
No, I like the lead actress in there.
Maxine Jennings.
Yes. Yeah. Just so sassy, just well written, and there's some great scenes between her and Steele in this.
Yeah.
And I mean, they are just going at it. And Mr. Wong is like, I wish you luck on your future romances or something. He clearly knew they were in love. But they were, if you just walked in the room, you would have thought, but no, they went much deeper, much deeper. Steele, the way he talked to her, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, sit down. I have some questions for you. She just looks at him like, what? He's like, I'm just doing my job. You just see him straighten up too. Like, I just meant that I have to ask you a few questions.
And then he goes right back into it.
Yeah. And then she looks over at Mr. Wong and he's just smiling.
Yeah.
He's just like, he has no idea how to talk to you, dear. Sorry.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that she keeps going to Mr. Wong. The boyfriend, Steele, will be talking, like asking her questions. And she'll just look over at Mr. Wong like, well, what do you think? And Mr. Wong will restate the question, or he'll ask her a different question. And she'll answer it freely with no problem. And, well, Mr. Wong, because you've asked me, I have this answer for you. And then she'll just look over at her boyfriend, and her boyfriend's like, oh.
It's nice to meet a detective with manners or something like that. She says,
nice to meet a detective with manners.
Oh man, it was good. It was good. I like seeing that type of representation. It's really cool.
And seeing how we've been talking for a while, why don't we tell them what the story's about?
Yeah, I don't necessarily want to spoil it, because here's the beauty. Here's the beauty of these little mystery things. They suck you in and you spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. But this is dealing with a murder that pretty much happens right in front of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Police included. It is a chemical person who has made all their money with chemicals or whatever.
Right.
And you see that he stole the idea possibly, but there's so many interest involved in this.
Yeah.
It gets almost a little confusing for me because I get distracted. But when I came back around, it's a really cool setup. and I don't know how much to talk about it other than there's a lot of humor. Mr. Wong, Boris Karloff is great in this role. I take nothing away from it. You know, my personal issues with white people playing Asian aside, this is a good movie. So
yeah, it is. It's funny because this very easily could have been a comedy.
Oh, dude, it's so close. It is so close.
Because every time you have the main villain and you're like, that's the guy, he dies.
Yes.
That's the guy. I got my man. That's the guy, which is what Steele kept doing. I got the guy.
Yeah, he did. He did. He kept going for it. Yeah.
Okay, well, now we definitely have the guy because this is the only guy left. Meanwhile, Mr. Wong has 3 other suspects on the side that the detective doesn't know shit about. Here's something very interesting about the Wong series as compared to Mr. Moto or Charlie Chan. Wong is a detective in all of these shows, in all the series. He is a detective. He finds pieces of glass. He sees that it's curved. He sees that it's thin. He's like,
that was brilliant.
What could this be? And he's putting like kind of picking up pieces of glass and he's putting them together. He realizes, okay, this is probably like some kind of a globe or something, but how big? So he gets them all up in his nap. How many napkins did that man have?
A lot. He had cigarettes in there. I love evidence handling in the 30s.
Yeah.
There's no chain of custody. There's no, oh, look at a gun.
There's fingerprints on it. Yeah, yours, dipshit.
Yeah. We've come a long way.
He's actually doing detective work. He's showing you what he's found. He's taking it to somebody that can, I think he takes it to the glass blower at the detective's, whatever, at the laboratory. And he's like, can somebody do this? And the guy's like, yeah, I can do that. And so they do that. They figure out the makeup of the glass and what they did to it. Well, where have you seen glass like this? Well, Bavaria. And he's getting all these little bits of information that are dropping in the future of the story. If you keep your ears open, you're kind of paying attention. Somebody says something and you're just like, there's a clue. Now what's going on now? And it's just, you are literally watching him find the clues, putting them together, and you're starting to guess a lot of the stuff that the character is guessing as he's building it. Yeah. None of the other ones really do that. All the other ones, Charlie Chan is talking to people. He's got a piece of evidence that you don't know about until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Peter Lorre's
here we see him get the evidence, and you're allowed to. It's almost like you get to go along on the hunt with him. Yeah, and I love that. Yes. That's what I love about these.
And these Mr. Wong stories are all like that.
Very good.
He finds something. There's one where a Chinese heiress gets shot in his study while she's waiting for him, and he comes in. He's like, oh, that's damn peculiar. And starts investigating. Of course, because he probably doesn't even break a sweat. Like, he doesn't even break a sweat. He's just like, yeah. Well, let's check out the body, and starts looking around. And it's very interesting because in every movie, he's investigating. He is doing the detective work. Charlie Chan movies don't really do that. I love Charlie Chan movies. Mr. Moto does that a little bit, but not a lot. You still don't see everything. Whereas this one is showing you everything, every clue this man finds. He's saying, hey, look, what do you think of this clue? And holds it up to the watcher. Not actually, but you see it. You know what he's doing.
Well done. Yeah.
Yeah. And I thought, wow, that's even especially for the time period. I don't know of any other show that's done that I'm aware of.
No, that's well done. That is well done, and that's what I like about it. Like you said, it's you're the watcher. You get to see the clues as they come on, and it's funny because everybody around him is an idiot,
except Myrna.
Yeah, except her. The rest of them, they're part of the misdirection of this story because they're on their path, and that's. You start, well, are they right? And you because you understand why Steele thinks the way he does. You understand the leaps or the conclusions he comes to.
And why. Why he's saying this.
But it's because he hasn't seen the evidence that is plainly there. He dismisses Wong so much.
Yeah.
But Wong solves the whole thing easily.
Wong is just looking at him like, one of these days you're actually going to listen to me when I'm telling you something. Because at the end of the movie, something happens and they're like, hey, Mr. Wong, you want to go? And he's like, no, you don't need me for this. You guys go have your dinner or whatever. Yeah. All he wanted through this whole movie was a cup of tea.
Yeah,
a cup of tea. And
because they went back to his place to get the tea. Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, that's like Hudson Hawk. I just want a cappuccino.
Yeah.
And at the end of the movie, he finally gets his cappuccino. At the end of this movie, he finally gets his cup of tea.
Very interesting.
His cleaner was cracking me up. Cleaner's only got 2 or 3 lines, and they're all in Chinese. You have no idea what he's saying.
Oh, you do. You know exactly what he's saying. That's the beauty of it.
And it's his day
what
off.
The hell? I do this all day, and you do this, and you know exactly what he's saying. It's very obvious. It's well done.
And it's great. Day off.
Yeah.
It's the damn guy's day off, and he's still like shit.
Yeah, it was well done.
Like 2 or 3 times, 2 or 3 very short times, and every time it's right after a mess was made, and he's pissed off. Like
it's like he just runs in at warp speed when there's a mess.
Yeah,
something broke. I gotta go.
For my money, you can't beat this niche genre of Oriental detectives played by white guys. I'm sorry, you just
it is a genre. No, it is a genre in itself. They are incredibly entertaining. They're smart.
Boris Karloff is a genius actor. He proves it in this beyond a shadow of a doubt. Peter Lorre, another genius actor. He had to get past that first Mr. Moto movie to get into that character. And then all of a sudden it's like, okay, I got it. This is my character. Everybody leave me alone. And everybody went, okay, you got it. And then all the actors that played Charlie Chan at varying levels and varying degrees played that character very well, depending on what they were pushing forward of that character. I think the first 2 actors were probably the best Charlie Chans for me. The last one was good, but you could see he was just trying to figure out like, how do I make this guy still relevant in the late 40s? You know, what am I doing?
Right.
But it was a good character to have. It was such a good character that even this guy who wasn't quite sure seemed to be able to knock it out of the park for me. So it's just a niche genre that I just love watching. I'm enthralled by these guys. I just love them. And I love this story, especially knowing it's the first one. You watch him do the detective work. You get sucked right in because you're trying to figure out. This is one of those few shows that, like you said, threw me off. Like, who is it? It's got to be that guy. Oh, no, it's not that guy. There's no way it could be that guy.
No, it was that guy.
That guy. Maybe it's that guy. Maybe it's not that guy. Well, that guy's dead now.
Yeah.
So it couldn't be that guy.
Yeah, it was well done. There's a few times I thought it was going to take a really crazy twist, and it still twisted, but not as far as I was prepared. So it was good. Very good.
At some point, you're trying to figure out where everybody fits in, and some of them don't have a direct link. They have kind of a misdirect link.
Weird,
Like,
but
okay, I wasn't expecting that, but it totally makes sense.
They're all rounded up too. Yeah, we got some more criminals while we're at it.
Yeah. You've already set up who and what it is. So okay, got it. So it's pretty good. Yeah. I highly recommend Mr. Wong Detective.
I will second that. Where did you watch it?
I watched it on YouTube. Now there are several different versions of it. Some a little bit better than the other. I kept looking until I found a really good, nice, clean version. And
because the one on Amazon is horrible.
Yeah,
it is a blurry freaking mess. It has bad sound. It's watchable. That's it. It's a shame. I thought we just went to Amazon because I figured they would have the better copy. So I was curious if you saw it elsewhere. No, it wasn't very good on Amazon. So folks, if you can find it a better cleaned up version on YouTube, I recommend it.
Yeah, anytime you can find any of these, there's usually several different downloads on YouTube. See if you can find a nice clean version, because the cleaner the version, the more you're going to enjoy it, in my opinion.
Absolutely. You absolutely will.
Backgrounds, you can see the facial expressions on the people better. just little things will stick out more in a nice, clean.
Yeah, it's very dark on Amazon and very blurry. The backgrounds are hard to see at times. But it was still serviceable, still watchable. Even in 2024, it's very watchable. It's a good story.
Yeah, so it is.
I recommend it. Dave recommends it. So if you like our recommendations, or if you hate our recommendations and you just want to say hi, drop us a line. Or
hit the like button.
Not. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the like, share, subscribe. Yes, check us all out.
We might have a notification button around here somewhere. Go ahead and hit that.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I think it notifies them that we uploaded. And when I say we uploaded, I mean you uploaded.
Yeah, well.
The next movie that we're going to do, folks, as of right now, barring any unforeseen circumstances, is going to be Kevin Costner in The Postman.
As long as I don't mix up my editing, yes, it will be the next one.
Post-apocalyptic, yeah. If the editing gets screwed up, it'll be a different movie.
It'll be there sometime. But yes, we are planning on moving ahead a little bit to one neither Dave nor I have seen is Kevin Costner's Postman. I'm a fan of Costner. I believe Dave is as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what he did. I know this movie caught a lot of flack, but hey, we've seen worse, I'm sure.
Oh, Star Wars
holiday special.
All right, folks.
Thank
you very much for watching, and have a great day.
Catch you later.